Hey everyone, Dennis K here with Belize Islands Real Estate. Just taking a little trip down memory lane. Steph and I are back in Michigan to visit our families. And you guys know a lot about my life in Belize and beyond, because that's mainly what this channel is for, obviously. Talking to you about Belize real estate, Belize investments, how to move to Belize, relocate there, retire there. But just to give you a little history of Steph and I, in case you're new watching this channel, is that we were born and raised here in Michigan. And I spent 11 years working in, not mainly this building, but I spent 11 years working for an automotive company here in Saginaw, Michigan. Got my start as a draftsman. So I went to school to learn drafting. So at first I was just a draftsman, then became an engineer. Designing steering systems for, at that time, it was Delphi. I think it's called Next Gear now. Big plant right over here in Saginaw. So yeah, I spent 11 years working for this company, and I'll tell you the story because it's really fascinating and also interesting how it all worked out. But in the end, toward my career at this company, I was working in corporate sales, and been here 11 years with this company. Had a great salary, working in sales, and just I was living the dream, you might say, right? So we had a nice house on the bay, we had boats, we had cars, the typical American lifestyle. And when Steph finally convinced me to move abroad, I told her, look, I can give you about a year in Belize. That's all we had savings for, and let's go for it. Just try to see what it was going to be like. Hang on a second. Just kind of see if it would be us or not. And when I walked out of this office for the last time, I was working in corporate sales at the time, and I turned in my resignation. It was liberating. So at first I was so excited, like, yeah, we're doing this, we're moving to Belize. And then at the same time at night, I would wake up in panic and sweats thinking, what have I done? I left a company that I worked for 11 years. I had basically everything I could hope for as a guy growing up in Michigan. Good health insurance, good everything, and still walked away from it. It took a big step of faith, didn't know how all this was going to work out yet. This is back in 2003, so let me tell a little bit of the story here regarding this building. So it was about March or April, probably April 2003, that I walked out of here and turned in my resignation. And then we moved to Belize in July. I think it was July 3rd or July 4th, 2003. And then I came back in October just for a quick visit, see mom and dad, take care of some banking and stuff. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go and step in my old office and rub it in the guys' faces that I was living this tropical dream. Pulled up to this door here. And first of all, the parking lot was empty, which I thought was kind of odd. Pulled up. The door was padlocked, so the whole entire building was shut down. Now, mind you, this is 6 months after I quit. So then I thought, we have about 3 or 4 other buildings here, and so as a company, so I went to the other building, same thing, found one that was open. I went in and said, what happened, man? He said, you didn't hear the news? Went bankrupt. 400 people got laid off just after you left. They're having some problems. I won't go into it on this video, but I think, wow, if I would have stayed working here, what I thought was a secure, permanent position, where would I have been? First, I would have been unemployed, on the unemployment line, looking for another job, hoping just for another job that would replace my salary. And I would continue to be stuck in the rat race, right? And so it sort of took me aback, thinking, wow, what if I hadn't made that decision to quit and move to Belize? Now, of course, when we moved to Belize, we didn't know how all this was going to turn out. I had a small decorative concrete business that I would do sometimes here in Florida to make enough money to live in Belize for half the year, come back for half the year. Eventually got into real estate, selling real estate, then eventually investing in my own properties, kind of fast forward to where we are today. But I think it's fascinating for all you guys watching, wondering how you're going to make all this work. Maybe you currently have a job that you feel is secure. You're wondering, should I step away from that? Of course, I can't advise you to do that. Again, nobody can. Only you know if that's a good decision for you guys to be able to actually quit your job. If something happens, could you go back to the same company or back to a similar type job in your hometown or in your home state? Or could you have another plan B somewhere in the world? I'm just telling you all this because I walked away from this, went to Belize, and for the last 20 years have been on an adventure of my life. And that's not to say that Steph and I didn't have an amazing life here in Michigan, because we did, and we still have great family and great friends here in Bay City. But I don't have to live in the snow anymore. Don't have to live in the cold. And I tell you what, man, life gets really, really exciting when you figure out a way to have the time freedom, the financial freedom, the physical freedom to go where you want, do what you want, and just make memories. So listen, guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I appreciate it. This channel has a lot of information regarding Belize, properties, investments, tips and tricks for expats. Some of it is videos like this, just telling you about, Steph and I, so you know who you're working with when you choose to work with us. Look, we didn't have all this figured out when we started first looking to move to Belize. We had nothing figured out. This was pretty much the days before internet. A little bit of internet back then, but not like it is today. And we just managed to kind of wing our way through it. And now, with the lessons we've learned along the way, we've been able to help a lot of people. So maybe we can help you too. All right, you guys take care. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you real soon.